What's going on, YouTube? Yeah, had a nice eventful tournament. Things went pretty well. Pretty tough out there right now. I fished, this is the second tournament in the California Delta this year that I'm fishing. Kind of a redemption tournament, you know, out of the same spot and stuff. So I did want to let you guys know before anything, the last Delta tournament I told you, I'd tell you what place I ended up in 9th place out of like 60 something guys or something like that. So that was pretty good. You know, didn't cash a check or anything, but it, you know, it's fun. So gonna fish this one. Stay tuned for some safety tips and such, and you'll see why in this tournament. There's pretty exciting stuff going on, and everything turned out okay, but check this out. It's gonna be good. Yep. There's one. It's a good fish. All right. Come on, crankbait. Damn. I just had one on. What the hell is that plane doing? Oh my God. That guy's going crazy. Damn, I just had a little rat on. There's a good fish. Don't be a striper. Don't be a striper. That's a good fish. That's a good fish. Yeah. Those are the ones you need. Solid. Is going crazy. Look at this. Look at it. What? That's a good fish. No, 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 no. No! Alright, now that guy's getting on my nerves. Those things run out of gas ever, or? There we go. Oh, flipped up a fish. Well, that's 5. We gotta upgrade. Oh, yeah. Maybe upgrade. Well, I guess all I gotta say is we gotta upgrade. I don't know if that one upgrades though. Let's take a look. Shit. I don't know. Yeah, okay, so yeah, upgrade. Doesn't even matter. Those are those times where it's almost not even worth checking. Just keep fishing. Little fray on that line. Always check your line. 6-pounder, grab hold of that, you're done. Catch a big one. Do you got nuts? We'll see. Nah, I don't think you got nuts. I don't think you got nuts. No. No. Deal with it. She might die. You gotta have nuts to get in the tub. That didn't sound right. There's a good one. That's a good fish. Decent. That's an upgrade. What do you think about that upgrade? Later. You guys all right? Oh shit. You guys probably gotta wait till tide, I'd imagine. I don't think you can get pulled off. Yeah, how hard did you hit? Did you just go up on it or? Yeah. Oh shit. I would just, yeah, you gotta wait till tide probably, man. That sucks. Sorry about that. What was that? Yeah, I got about 12 pounds or so of fish. Of 5. You know. Been alright. Yeah. Alright guys, good luck. See how crazy that can get? I've never seen something like that. This guy, basically, just so you know, he's safe and everything's okay. This guy propelled himself up onto a sand dune coming around a corner. Two things either happened. He either just blatantly didn't know about that area and came around a corner like most would, not thinking about anything, and went up on it. That's what I kind of think happened. It can happen to anybody. Or the second thing is he knows about those areas and stuff, but you know, maybe this tide in particular he was not prepared for, or he just forgot about it or something. So yeah, anyways, one thing I want to make very clear to you guys. I'm not here to, you know, laugh or bash. This can happen to anybody at any time. People have boat accidents and stuff like this happen to them all the time. I have hit my fair share of floating logs. I have been up on a sand dune, not like this, but you know, have, you know, crept up on a sand dune and had to kind of push myself off. The Delta is like no other fishery. It's no other waterway. The Delta can be very unforgiving. Okay, it does not care about you. It does not care about your you know, $2,500 to, you know, $150,000 bass boat. It doesn't care about you, it doesn't care about your boat, it doesn't care about your family or anything. So you guys got to be really careful. Now, just a little snippet real quick. If you guys know this gentleman, please do not put him or his boat like CF number or anything. As you can tell, you can't make any of that stuff out. Do not put his name on the comments or anything like that. He is fine. I'm not here to bash anybody. I will delete those comments if I see anything like that. So let's be cool. Let's just take this as a learning lesson. So anyways, one other thing I want to do is I made a little drawing of this specific area. So I'm going to show you exactly what happened to this person. So let's take a look. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and explain to you guys exactly what happened to this gentleman and how it can happen to anybody and how the Delta can be so unforgiving. So don't mind my my pirate map here. This was the area that this person was driving to. Okay, I was coming this way. I was coming down this way here. I noticed he was down in this area. So here's something I want to explain. So we see where the land is here. The Delta during a high tide and low tide can be completely different. Obviously, high tide is a little more forgiving than low tide, and I'll show you why. So we were coming out and it was a low tide. Even if this person was on a high tide, he would have got stuck up there, and we would have had to figure it out. But I just want to explain to you, he was so stuck that I couldn't pull him out. There's no way. I would have ruined my boat trying to pull him out. He was completely out of water. Okay, so I'm not sure how much that boat weighed, but I'll tell you, I think it had a 250 horsepower on the back, so we know it was at least a 21 foot. I think it was a Ranger up there. So anyways, the Delta has these shallow sides. In parts of the Delta, it has these shallow sides here, and then it has its deeper sides. Okay, a few things you gotta look out for is in this area in particular. This is a spot. You come from a main area down to this kind of breakaway where you go into two different sections. When you're running in here, you have these little corners here, and what I'm indicating here is basically sand dunes that come off into the shallow. So they come off the land, you don't see them, they're under the water. This area right here in particular is, you wouldn't even know it, but right when you hit this sand dune, you're in a foot of water. Okay, if you were to come down like this and make your way in here, and you see this tree, I marked these X's here as trees. You see that tree right there, and you're like, oh, I got to stay away from that. You can easily get stuck up in here. Even in high tide, you'll get stuck in there. So there's a few tricks that you actually have to do to drive in these spots. You know, this is one foot down to 4 feet into the deeper area. This right here, same thing, 1 foot down to 4 feet if you were to come over there. This one here, all of this right here is 8 to 10 feet deep, and then it goes into 1 to less than 1 foot up in here. Same thing over here. So what you'll notice is this guy, what he did was basically come from this way. He was flying around this way, and you got a lot of brush up on this side over here, and what he did was he took it like this, and he saw the brush and he hung tight. Well, when he did that, he hit the freaking sand right here, and his boat, when I saw him, his boat was pointing this way. So he was actually sitting in the boat like this with his motor out like this, that way. So he must have hit so hard that his boat actually went sideways up onto that. And he's completely out of water. I'm coming this way, I see him over there, and no, there's nothing I can do. You can't pull that off. You have to wait till high tide and then hope. I did send a text message to the director of the tournament and stuff, because he was actually part of the tournament, to see if I needed to come back out with shovels and stuff to see if we can get him out, but he got off, so he's good to go. So anyways, there are tricks here. When you're coming around corners like this, you got to be able to read the delta. You got to know. I mean, there is literally right in here, not only is this real shallow, but there's literally an island right here that's like, in high tide, is less than a foot underwater. I mean, you can see the tules sticking out right here. So the trick of this area in particular is you literally have to hug way down here, and then right here it's about 8 to 10 feet, but it's also only about 8 to 10 feet wide. This thing right here is about 40 feet wide. Right here, it's about 40 feet, but you have to know that to hug this over here. And then as you're going around here, say you want to go back in this area, you got to hug in the middle, come around, because there's a big old tree right here underneath the water, and you actually got to hug in between those two. Same thing over here. You got to hug. If you were to go this way, you got to hug actually in here, because you actually have two sunken logs and one that's actually over here. So yeah, you know, this can happen to anybody. All right, you just got to be really freaking careful. You can't be flying around, and especially in this area. The majority of the delta, you can read it fairly easily. I will tell you that there are rocks, like in Middle River, there's going to be rocks on both sides, so you can see your depth. As long as you stay in the middle, you're fine. When you get down into this stuff, you cannot play around anymore. Like, it is a focused game. Now, you're never going to get around the floating log that happens to be floating around and you hit that. I mean, that's just what it is. There's a reason why a lot of guys don't fish down in this stuff, is because they like their, you know, $100,000 Ranger. They don't want to be up on a sand dune with it, you know. And I'm glad he was okay. We checked on him and made sure everything was fine, and he got out. But yeah, so guys, just be ultra safe. Okay, let's get back to the video. Come on, upgrade. Come on, upgrade. Be nice. There's a fish. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah. I got to go, man. Especially against this wind. Last damn cast. All right, let's go. Keep my drop shot rod out. Just in case we get there a little early. See what happens. Whew, that was a crazy ride there. How'd you do, bud? Same old thing, huh? Man, I think I got like maybe like 10 pounds, something like that.
You ready, baby?
No, I'm just gonna fill up real quick.
Walking like you put in work today.
Yeah, but it didn't. I didn't earn nothing.
Ugly, man.
It was.
Ugly.
Went for a ride.
Hey, no more to the scale right now. No more.
How many people fished this one?
Oh, it was a lot, man.
Was it a lot?
Yeah.
It was a lot?
Some old members showed up today.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Cool. Last time it seemed like a lot.
I think more this time.
This time more? Wow.
Or arithmetic.
Ooh.
You got some good ones?
Yep. Yes, sir. Yes. 5.
5, very alive.
We haven't seen the dead one yet. Don't measure those ones.
11:34. 11:34. 11:34.
11:34.
How many you got?
5, baby.
You said you struggled, man.
Oh, I struggled.
Good bag.
It was all right. Good fish.
Yeah, all solid. Good shit. What's your big one?
My big one was maybe 2 something, 2.5 something. I don't know.
Yeah, that looks solid. Especially that one right there.
Yeah, that one's probably closer to 3 maybe. It's a pretty good bag today. Decent. I don't think we're gonna cut a check though. Leading the pack for a second though. That's pretty cool. So there you have it. Fun tournament. Local tournament out here in the West Coast, in the Bay Area. I think they're out of Oakland, California. Really, really cool guys. Bank, that's the tournament. They've been, getting bigger and bigger over the years. Real proud to be a part of it. Really, really good people. About 60 to 70 people fishing them on average. This one supposedly has more guys and some older members show up, so that's fun. I'm glad to see them all out there and having a good time. So I got a little over, I don't know, it was I think it was 11.34, almost 11.5 pounds, something like that. Did fairly well. I was leading the pack for a while. I got 7th place in the tournament, so that was cool. Better than last time. It's still a little tough out there on the Delta for a lot of guys, including myself. It's kind of a struggle. So let's check out the 3 main baits that I could have used throughout the day that I caught fish on. That should have been the only baits on my deck. So let's take a look at them real quick and go over the most important out of the 3 and kind of go from there. All right, guys. So here are the 3 main baits that I've been throwing for a little bit of time in the Delta. Spring is here, so I'll explain kind of what's going on and why I'm choosing these colors and baits. This one bait will be on my deck 365 24/7. This is the Margarita Mutilator. Everybody probably has it in their boat. I mean, honestly, everybody probably has these 3 baits in their boats, but anyways, I will have this on this drop shot rod all the time if I'm fishing the Delta. It just seems to work. It's got a kind of, a purple hue to it with a brown belly. For some reason, the fish just love it. It drops down subtly. I like to wacky worm it. You guys will see that. And it smacks them. The problem with this bait, it gets eaten up by small fish. Now I've caught, just recently, I've caught a 5.1 and a 3.5 on it. Within, it was one day I went out fishing. Very tough day, really tough day of fishing. And I caught 2 fish and both of them were pretty decent, especially that 5-pounder. So big fish will hit this. I've caught 7-pounders, 7+ on these things. So the problem is you gotta weed through a lot of the rats. So moving forward is the Cinco. All of these guys here are kind of my go-to. Starting off here, my true go-to would be the green pumpkin black flake. It's really good for stained water. It's also really good for clear water. It's just dark enough for that stained water, but it also looks pretty natural for whatever it's supposed to be for that clear water. I didn't catch that fish, that 2.5 pounder on this. I also didn't catch it on this, but the reason why I'm bringing this out is because I messed with it for a while. I've caught a couple fish on it, decent fish, 2+ pounders. The reason why is because it's springtime, crawdad, you know, it's this red with a red flake, and you know, it's an all right bait. I got to mess with it more. We'll see what happens. But moving forward, this is the one that I pitched into there and caught that 2.5 pounder on. This is a watermelon red flake. I think every person and their mama has this color on their boat. This is it. If you have a Senko, if you have one bag of Senko, or if you're just not a fan of Senkos, but you got it because your friend bought it and said, hey man, you should really try this, they gave you this color. This is the watermelon red flake. Pitched it in there and boom, I upgraded. Probably put, you know, another pound or so in the boat because of that. So the number one bait that I should have been just throwing a lot more, which I threw it a lot in that video. You didn't see me pick up my spinnerbait and chatterbait. I was hucking that around, but the footage that you guys saw was all the fish that I caught. It was a struggle, okay? Just understand that. That wasn't like, you know, there was hours where I wasn't catching fish, not even getting bites. So the fish that you saw caught were the fish that were caught that day, and that was it. Anyways, this is crawdad crankbait. It is red, springtime, kind of the deal. Big bill, even though this bill is can run this bait deeper than where some areas that are even shallower than what this bill can run. It deflects off of wood very easily, a lot better. It's really nice. So where I'm cranking this is basically trying to keep it in a strike zone. A lot of diving down and then stopping it, and that's when those bigger fish are hitting. It's got a big wide head on it. That causes this thing to wobble a lot more, which I believe will deflect off of wood too. So let me go over the colors of why these things are kind of my go-to. When throwing in stained water, it really does not have anything to do, in my eyes, with color choice. It's color contrast choice. What does this color look like through sunlight? So basically when the sun is kicking on that water, how does I'm not looking for this fish to go, ooh, that's green with red. I want this thing to hit a certain contrast where the fish is going to hit it because it can actually see it from a distance. We got a lot of dark colors here. We got a black head on it. First thing that fish is going to see when it's coming towards them is that dark black head. And then when it pauses and rises back up, we see that red. Purple, I don't throw it because it's purple. I throw it because when it's down deep on the ground, you can see it through that murkier water. Same thing with these greens. Now this is more of a pitch, slow fall kind of thing, so the sunlight's going to hit it for a lot longer than it's going to hit this. So you know, those are my choices. I will tell you the most important color is not the actual color that you see. It is the color of confidence. I'm sure I could have wacky rigged this color and caught just as many fish off of this guy as long as my confidence was there. Maybe not, maybe so, who knows? But I will tell you that if you don't got confidence in your bait, you're not going to throw it to where you want it. You're not going to work it the way you want it and all of that. Remember, guys, they're just fish. You got to stop buying these pretty packs of baits here. And I think lures catch more fishermen than they do catch fish. So anyway, so yeah, those are my 3. So yeah, I didn't cash a check or anything. Ended up in 7th place. I think 16.5 pounds won. I had 11 and a half or something like that. Anyway, so besides the craziness with our friend going up on the sand dune and stuff, it was a fun tournament. He's safe, everything's good to go. But yeah, comment below if anything as crazy has happened to you or you've seen anything like that. I'd like to hear some cool stories. As long as everyone's safe and stuff, they're all fun, crazy, adventurous stories regardless. I know I got my fair share. So yeah, comment below, like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.